Hello, my name is host Eric. This is Rachel.
Hello.
We're hosting a television program called Talking with Famous People right now. And as always, we're going to be discussing interesting subjects to delight and amaze children of all ages. Today, we're going to be discussing anime, and more specifically, Code Geass. And it's dastardly doing dues to TI. So the hero of the show, the INTJ in the show, probably you call him, is arguing a very utilitarian framework, whereas his enemy, who's basically the bad guy who doesn't get it, sort of in the show, at least so far. We'll see how the moral storyline develops, but is being a TI fool, which of course would never actually be the case the way that he's being a TI fool. So like in the show, he's saying, well, I'm going to try to work with the system and do things properly, and it's a matter of means, not ends and stuff. But of course, the side he's working with is not deploying good means at all. So it's like it's a TE user's perspective of TI, in the sense that it presumes that TI never holds itself accountable or something, like TE doesn't. But of course, it's just TE that doesn't do that, not TI. So it's like I really like Code Geass. It's a fantastic anime.
Too. I'm liking it as well.
And it really moves along quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But I dislike the reductive depiction of TI. And I appreciate the fact that this show is actively engaging basically the two frameworks, which is nice. But it's undervaluing TI and overvaluing TE. So, I don't have a whole hell of a lot to discuss tonight, but just me? I've never heard of it. Where do they put a comment someplace? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Definitely not.
I don't have any. I mean, all the alternate accounts I have are also say TWFP on them.
True.
I never use them at all. I'm always operant as TWFP.
I'd love to join you in a bong rip. Together is better.
Yeah, I think I got enough out for two. For some reason, I got this piece out.
Cool.
Yeah. This stuff you're going to need a whole hell of a lot.
Like,
Is there somebody who left a comment someplace? Does it sound like me? The only time I ever find myself not operant as talking with famous people is if I'm Rachel Appaloosa accidentally, because Rachel speaks to her account and I didn't do anything to find out.
Yeah.
Like usually I realize it when I get an ad. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, I'm Rachel. Okay.
That's so funny. But actually, I should have Prime now, so it should be fine. But,
okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about sort of anonymity and so forth. And you've heard me say before, I'm not an advocate of privacy.
Mm.
I mean, the thing is, today I've only actually streamed twice, once in the morning and once here at night, and probably won't be a super long stream or anything. But I've released a couple of other videos during the course of the day. I made my released travel log video that Rachel and I made in Palm Desert.
Mhm.
And bye.
Bye. Hope you enjoy it.
I don't blame you. Greetings, wisdom. We've been watching a lot of Code Guys today. So it's nice to take a break.
Guys.
We switched over to Dr. Stone, and then we watched some basketball as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Boba
you.
Fett.
Eric took a lot of time on it.
Pleasantly, I took.
It's nice to hear.
It took less time than it would have ever taken in the past. I've gotten better at knowing what I'm trying to get, and knowing what pieces I want to get, so that when I go to edit them together and stuff, I don't have to do as much work. It used to be. Thank you, TinyMan66. It used to be the case that that I have to do more cutting of stuff. Usually now, if I have a clip that I don't think is going to be worthwhile including, then I'll just delete it on my phone right away. So I don't even have it on Google Photos. I don't have to mess with it. It was nice being able to incorporate Rachel's phone as well into the recording process. It allowed us to record in the car without me unplugging my phone from the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping at some point to sort of get a shot of us kind of like rocking out something or whatever, but it just never that never really happened. You can't really manufacture that.
That's true, you can't.
So
it'll happen.
Yeah.
Could you do me a favor? Mm-hmm. Could you grab me one of those lighters?
Of course, my darling.
Thank you.
I would love to do you that favor.
Oh,
he's
so nice.
It's what I was born to do.
Oh,
hand you lighters.
True.
Yeah. So I feel like it's been a pretty productive day, actually. I got a number of sort of shit cleared off my plate that I wanted to get accomplished. And fucking Eric.
Oh.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh.
What a fucking nightmare.
No, it's really okay.
There.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait for you.
Okay. There's still hair in there?
Yeah, it's okay.
God damn it.
Please,
It's because it stuck to my finger when I pushed it down.
Which is a good thing.
Wait, Trevor, why are you busting Tiny Man 66's chops? Tiny Man 66 doesn't want your tip, okay?
That is such a strange tip, too.
Yeah, it's like, God, do you need to please her, Effie? I don't think so.
This stuff's good too. Really?
Well, hey, Trimmer, I'm going to acknowledge that it's a little unusual, but I've not seen anything either spiteful or inappropriate, so I'll see there being any particular reason to bust anybody's chops.
It doesn't sound patronizing to me because I'm the kind of person who, I'm very apt to compliment people. So
it is literally rare we encounter a counter person looking at some counter. It's a girl. Rachel doesn't say something like, "I love your man,"
Yeah, seriously, really though. If there's some like bag, like usually Delilah looks like awesome, so I always let her know. And you know, if I'm at the store and I see someone's nails are done nice, I'll be like, "Ooh, like your nails," you know, FE stuff.
Yeah. And sure, it might seem like you. It might seem a little banal, but you go here, smoke that.
Okay. I didn't know we were going back to back.
Well, I feel like I need one more bomber in front of me.
I'm right there with you.
Now, I'd also be interested in talking, if anybody's interested in talking about it. Okay, Senku versus Lelouch. So, obviously, I prefer Senku's character. Well, obviously, I'm not going to bother watching it if she's textbook ESFP. I mean, you can tell, right? That's the thing. It's like, they argue all the same way. They're all so wrong, you know, in the same exact way. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. I have my own frustrations with them. Like there's this ESFP comic, and I liked her show Broad City, and she was all like in the show she's all like progressive and like forward thinking, but like she's not at all actually. She's not who she says she is, and that pisses me off.
ESFPs, they say who they are changes day to day. It doesn't matter. It's like
it doesn't matter.
They're just somebody who makes big declarations about themselves and things without any sort of. Well, it sounds like she might need to be type policed. And after all, she came in here and started shit, and I was like, I need to be particularly. She came looking for a fight. She made a video about me, right? I'm sure none of it makes any sense, and it's all bullshit, right? So. Well, that'll be a good video. Was she going to be an INFP? Or all types?
That's what she said. Yeah. Pretty much. I'm ready for my third.
Okay. So yeah, they're kind of every type, huh? Okay. Well, she's 1/16th right. I mean, the thing is, what I don't like about Code Geass, and this is not about the media, really, okay? The media is pretty fantastic. I'm really into it. I like it a lot. It's really exciting. But the TI character, the guy who's an 11 who is in the white helmeted guy, you know what I'm talking about?
The guy who isn't the white-headed guy?
No, the guy who is in the white helmet.
Yes, I do. Yes.
So Lelouch refers to him as White Helmet. Fun note, the next big bad guy in Shield's hero is in the Entp. Well, we'll see about that. It's pretty... It's kind of well, to do an ENTP villain correctly, they have to be. It has to be kind of a tragedy. It's like you got to watch them insulate themselves from real criticism while dishing out criticism from shady spots.
You know what?
You know.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
No.
You continue.
I just wanted to say that I think that Rick Sanchez does a good job of that, like, fall from grace, sort of. Even Saul in Better Call, and not in Better Call Saul, in Breaking Bad too. He gets to a point where he's at his bottom too, but the character like has that kind of.
I just don't think the Joker's an ENTP. I know he's often portrayed as one, or said that this is an ENTP villain. I don't see anything ENTP-ish about him at all. He's extremely sensory.
He talks about his like marks all the time.
I think it's hard to say because he's a mind reader, but I think the character who challenges Lelouch to a chess game and rides up in the gondola with him.
Oh yeah.
I think that guy seems like an ENTP.
ENTP. And he's the one who is.
He was a bad guy.
I will wait for you, green-haired girl.
I don't know what his name's Mao. His name's Mao. And there's this moment when Lelouch, the guy's like, or Lelouch is thinking, this is poorly planned. This guy's poorly planned this thing. There's no way he's going to succeed. And the guy's like, planning and he's planning, something like that. And I thought, okay, this is an ENTP character. He doesn't just kill them. He wants to have them kill each other in this like unnecessarily complicated way, right? So
Mao is
what's Zack Snyder cut? I have no idea what that is.
So Mao is an ENTP?
Yeah, I think
cool.
That Mao character is an ENTP. He seemed like one. Of course, the fact that he had mind reading skills makes it difficult to determine whether he was intuitive or not, or whether he was just reading people's mind. Justice League Director's Cut? I haven't seen Justice League. I don't think. Have you seen it?
No, we have not.
Okay. Is it a lot better than a regular cut or something? I'm interested in seeing that movie, maybe.
What about what? We still haven't seen that one either. Okay, so the one by Josh.
Look, I do too. I want to stress that I also. This is in a dumb place. Can't read the thing.
Oh,
Eric. Because Eric is so dumb. Yes, Eric is so dumb. He'll look around the circle 10 times. Yes, Eric is so dumb.
Says you.
Thanks, Darlene.
You're welcome.
I also love Lelouch's plans. I agree that he's definitely the hero in this story, right? And I'm rooting for him. I just don't like the way that the TI character isn't given any of the actual strength of TI, whereas the TE character is given all the strength of TE. So in other words, the TI character doesn't seem to be very active at all in applying the same standard he's applying to Lelouch to his own side. And that's not how it would play out with a TI person. Well, we can't all have good taste, Leaf Trimmer. Well, I mean, in this particular show, Code Geass, there's a very clear distinction between the TE utilitarian frame and the TI principalist frame. So, okay, Jacob A. Rousey, the answer to that is I distinguish them in multiple different ways, and it provides a sort of it sort of lights up the understanding of the guy, understanding of the thing from multiple directions. So I'd say we can distinguish it definitionally. We'd say it's a process that people engage. They're both processes that people engage. One of them is a deliberative process, and one of them is an interfacing process. The deliberative process is specifically one that deliberates static systems of language, and the interfacing process is one that interfaces with dynamic physical systems. So that'd be the most precise definition of it. It's an intentional manner that one pays to accomplish those ends, or that is the same thing as either deliberating or interfacing, right? So, but if we're going to talk about the values, the TE value set is one of utilitarianism, that ultimately you argue within the frame, that you understand what the frame is, and you argue according to its own criterion. So if I want to make money, the frame is making more money. If I want to win the war, the frame is winning the war. If I want to build a road, the frame is building a road. And the issue of whether or not somebody's being in some way harmed is unjust. Well, for a TE frame of reference, that'll tend to just be a matter of a total net cost benefits analysis. In other words, someone's unjust harms get tossed into a total net pile of costs, and benefits still outweigh while you go with the benefits. So the principalist frame of reference says you don't go with benefits if they include unjust means. That, in other words, the ends don't justify the means. Now, the problem I have with how Code Geass addresses this question is that it's funny. The way the Code Geass addresses the question is basically to say, hell no. You can play me dub after I'm dead. Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
I even tried to watch on my own, right? I'm so impressed by Eric's skill of being able to read so fast that I'm like, maybe I should watch some dubbed, like while you were napping or whatever. Like, so I tried Toradora, and it was like so different. Like the English language over the cartoon, it didn't match. And then you hear what they really were scripted, like when you watch the subs. With the subs, it's like closer to the script, where like if they dub it, it's more like, it's so bad.
Boba Fett,
I
interestingly, not much. Okay, I haven't really picked up much. And the reason is, this is the thing about subs and dubs. The reason why I'm so enamored with the subs is because I do read very quickly and process written language very quickly. So I much prefer watching the subs. It's the same thing as, it's better than, it's like if I'm watching by myself on Netflix, which lets you adjust the speed, I can watch it on double time. A lot of things are kind of slow. That's how I watched Baki. That's how I was able to even stand Baki.
That's true. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Well, we're currently watching Code Geass, and rather into it. It's pretty cool.
I like it too.
The point is, if you can watch it in the original language, and that original language is Japanese, then and it doesn't impact your processing of it at all, which it doesn't for me. I'm not very considerate of Rachel, I guess, because I do know that that I think it's more tiring for her to read a bunch of shit for hours on end than it is for me. I can watch endless episodes on, like, if I can get them on double speed.
But it doesn't. It's like anime's such like it doesn't affect me. It's not like you were watching like a documentary on like people in jail. Like that I'd be like, I can't like watch this. I'm gonna go inside or something. Like it's easy to watch anime. It's fun, you know. It's pretty breezy, the stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so
waifus are any AFA, to be honest, so NTPs and SSGs and animes are the most liked characters. There aren't very many ENTPs, I've noticed.
No.
There's a stark paucity of them. Even when they're represented in the show, they're a lot less verbal than they might otherwise be. Well, I mean, Jacob A. Rousey, you sort of rephrased what I said, basically, which is that TE assumes the frame and argues within it or underneath it, and TI evaluates frames. Now, whether or not there's also the case of where you have it in the stack of what it's paired with. So the most frame evaluatory functions are your metaphysical epistemology functions, that's NI and TI, and your metaphysical subject functions, which is say externalized functions, expert intuition, expert feeling. So the types that are most likely to be what I call meta-analysts, as I say, question both the frame and the tool within the frame, are ENTPs, INFJs, INTPs, ENFJs. Yeah, but I mean, Stan, I have my opinions that are starkly different from other people's opinions about what a given type is. Now, no, these are characters in the show. Nobody can really be correct or incorrect. It's just a matter of opinion or whatever. But I think the vast majority of people obviously are completely wrong about typology, because you just have to look at my Trump poll. I mean, ESTP wins by a large margin. So, I mean, people don't understand TI very well, obviously. If you understand TI at all, you should agree that Trump is definitely an ESFP. I mean, you can tell. Look at the way he interacts with the world. Look at the way that all of us interacts with the world.
Look at how he exited the White House.
Yeah, I mean, such an ESFP. Again, Leaf Trimmer, why the constant hostility?
Leaf Trimmer?
Yeah. Constant hostility. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. All of these are lies, mere illusions, and nothing more. Well, so, I mean, the thing is, what you see in Code Geass is the TEFI person claiming moral authority here. Yeah, it gets frustrating, Freddie Forgiato. I mean, the thing is, whatever. It's like, that's why I don't like to argue about it. When you look at something like typology that's got a certain amount of consensus-based understanding to communicate about, and you realize something like 70 or 80% of the people think Trump's an ESTP, and it's pretty clear that he's not using any T. These people don't know what TI is, you know? But there's nothing you can point to the TI that Trump's ever done that's particularly introverted thinking at all. It's a bunch of totally contradictory justifications. It's just a bunch of nonsense. It's like there's no way an ESTP would be that dumb, would be that bad at making justifications. So he's an ESFP. I thought he was an ESTP at first, but I was wrong. Because the reason I thought, and somebody came at me with this reason earlier today, and I agree it's the strongest reason. The reason I was fooled at first. He does seem FE. That I've come to recognize that now. That's blustery bullshit 6-slot demonstrative ESFP FE is what that is. It's straight up demonstrative FE 6-slot ESFP. If you think Trump's an ESFJ, then you think Oliver, what's her name's an ESFJ? You think Cloud's an ESFJ? You think Asha Deep's an ESFJ? I mean, they're all the same. They're all the same person. It's
yeah, they are.
That's the great thing about somebody like Oliver. She's not aware. I've had her come by and have this thing happen before. This isn't the first time I've encountered an ESFP saying those exact idiotic things. I should probably put together a set of clips of ESFP saying those idiotic things, It seems like a good idea.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea. It takes a little bit of work, but if I just had like 3 or 4 of them, I could point out that to match with all of us, I can make some points here, right?
Yeah. I wanted to recommend a book to Winston's mom. It's called
Touch Your Womanhood.
It's a gift from Abraham to Eric, and it's Synchronicity by Carl Jung, and
it's called Touch Your Womanhood, a journey into your inner moisture.
Pretty much. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's okay. Technically, 135 pages. Maybe like half of that is actually like written word, and has like,
What are all these charts?
He's using astrology. Uses. Let's see.
It's an astrology book?
Yeah, there's astrology in it. And it shows, the...
What an...
Yep. Yeah. So, just... I saw this and I thought of you. Yeah, I have read chapters. I've never read it at all. I picked it up today. And I landed on this.
It's a picture.
And I was like, what?
What is that like? That's a graph representing the journey into your womanhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly how it's going to go. Your journey into womanhood.
Wow. I'm glad to know.
So... I'm filling up the fish tank with some new water because there was a dead fish in there for a while.
I'm surprised.
They got sucked into the little black bars of the sucking part. The little black bars of the sucking part. It sucks up the water into the filter. Yeah, it catches all the dead fish there. But they don't go into everywhere.
Brought to you by Lennon.
Let's see what we got saying on around here.
What's I'm saying?
You got very into what Nostradamus wrote? All I can say about
That makes me nervous because I have a conjunction of Pisces for my Mars and Venus.
Sounds to me like he got his NITI mixed up with his NI.
He only talks about like conjunctions. He doesn't talk about squares or sextiles.
No squares or yachts?
No, man.
Okay, any astrology book that isn't mostly talking about squares and yachts, I've got a problem with.
You know,
my own astrology.
You know that YouTuber who talked about twin flames and soulmates?
I remember the video. I don't remember what the YouTuber was like. But was she some lady with like colorful hair, maybe?
Yeah, like long hairs. You thought she could possibly be in. You said first ENTP, but then you heard her a second time and you said maybe ESTP. Well, she does.
Anya? Anya?
No, not Anya. Her Alyssa Trahan's her name. Yeah, Alyssa Trahan. No, not Tilson.
Good old Alyssa Trahan.
She's very opinionated. The thing is, she does readings, and like I'm almost hesitant. Like I would love to get a reading from her, but I'm almost hesitant. Like I would almost like preface it with saying, "Hey,
be nice."
Yeah, I know my chart is full of squares and yachts. I pay people because I want to like, I don't know, get the most out of it. I'm not paying to like.
Skunky Brewster's back.
Really?
Back to eat after.
Aw, that's good. Yeah, maybe not.
Hi, Skunky Brewster. Skunky Brewster's here, guys.
Yeah, Skunky Brewster's here.
Let's see. Who isn't an ESFP? Teal Swan's not an ESFP. I never claimed Teal Swan was an ESFP. If you're talking about Trump, you're wrong. And I don't want to argue about it, but I maintain my position 100%. I can see that not arguing about it may not be good enough, but I don't want to argue about it anymore. I mean, then where do you give me one example of introverted thinking from Trump? Just give me one, you know? I mean, the thing is, he said things like, talk is cheap. I've got a hunch. He uses one justification one day, an entirely different justification on another day that's contradictory. He seems to have no regard for the truth. Doesn't seem to think that words should matter. When he's actually has an opportunity to debate somebody, he just sort of verbally punches them in the stomach so they get off track. What they're saying is he's textbook, not TI. I mean, if you can come up with a good argument as to why he's TI, go for it, make it, you know.
She's a tarot reader? My mind is blown. Winston's mom. She started with Eric. She's the ESFP. I do wander around.
But are you? I don't think Oliva is one you're talking. You're not talking about Oliva.
Yeah, Rachel. Do you wander YouTube for tarot or psychics? They do live readings all the time. I saw today Oliva Sullen was doing one. She is the SFP who appeared here. I was a bit confused at her reception.
I know. But I know, and that's the problem, right? That's what makes me not even want to discuss this. She does not understand why she's often removed, blocked, or banned by channels. Huh. Well, it's because she doesn't, and that's the thing. They don't behave as though words matter. I'm not sure Rachel. I've never heard expressly Rachel say she doesn't like Trump. I've heard me say it. I don't think I've ever heard her express a strong opinion about him either way.
The one time I did was like when I was like, where like I was like, he claims to have so much money, but then he doesn't take care of the golf course he owns. I was like, things must be a mess in the government.
So I mean, I think you're projecting onto Rachel probably a position she hasn't stated really.
I never really.
And I know you're in some kind of pissy mood tonight, and you don't want to. Rachel didn't vote, leaf trimmer.
Well,
Neither did I.
I have actually said that. We both have said that before.
Neither of us voted.
Neither of us. Why is it so much more common for Rachel as that demographic to instantly hate Trump?
Why is it so common for you to just have to fight about something? Just stop it. It's like you want to fight Rachel about whatever. Rachel never said that. She never said she voted for Biden.
No way. I never would have said that. Never.
Because we didn't vote.
I said I didn't vote. I said stop telling me that I voted for Biden because I didn't even vote. And then Eric said,
"Are you serious? Are you serious? Do you genuinely believe this is how friendly people talk to one another? This is Leaf Trimmer's idea of friendly. Why is it so much more common for Rachel's exact demographic to instantly hate Trump? Millennial women. I think you and Rachel dislike him for different reasons, maybe, but I mean, come on, Leaf Trimmer. Even without my tone of voice, it's clearly not a like open hand, right? It's not like, hey, here's something we share in common. It's more like, rah. And
he's rarely in our conversation.
And the fact is, to be perfectly honest, I don't really know exactly what Rachel's position is on Trump. That's, I guess, how self-control.
I don't like him.
You know?
I don't like him. I don't like him. But that's because like I am a millennial and I know a lot about Trump's career from like the 90s, since the 90s. So
Rachel, Leaf Trimmer, not Rachel. Leaf Trimmer saying Rachel was kidding is saying she did say that, but she wasn't. She was just joking.
Way.
I'm saying and that she never said that she voted for Biden.
Yeah, I definitely never did.
So, Legend Fall, what do you think? Do you think Trump's an ESTP? Do you see the TI there?
Oh my god!
I don't think.
I was really surprised by that, actually. That so many people think that he's an ESTP. I'm so surprised by that. ESFP makes so much more sense. Every time that Eric said ESTP in the past, I was like, I don't know. There's something just off about Trump that I don't like. And it just like, I was like, I know that like sometimes I butt heads with ESTPs, but not like that. Like I would like him more. I don't know.
Listen, Mom, I'm on the same boat as you. I want to try to I think he is too. No, I think he is too. I've thought that for a long time now.
Oh,
I just don't get into it.
That's nice.
You know, it's like I'm just not going to get into it.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's definitely. I mean, I've yet to hear anything that sounds like demonstrative TI or fifth slot TI. I've heard a lot of random shit from him. But on the other hand, sometimes, you know, you can make him, unlike most ESFPs, he will back away with a certain amount of TI pressure, usually.
Yeah.
At least it was a good day, I guess. But I mean, he is a little bit difficult to type, but I think he's an ESFP. I think that's why he's difficult to type. He's good at faking, and like most ESFPs,
I mean, he has the most orange spray tan I've ever seen in my life. Who knows? It could even be that he uses fake tanner, not even like spray tan. I don't know.
I mean, I haven't seen any validation of TI at all, really, from him. But I have seen a willingness to be pushed back by it a little bit. It's unlike the normal ESFP who would normally shift ground. But I mean, that's not necessarily the case. Then it might be the case for some types that they're more difficult to type as they get older. And I think that would be, like well, I wouldn't say I'd say I don't know what would be more likely. Introverted, ISFP would be very unlikely to be quite that what do you call it? Just kind of combative, I guess.
They're not combative.
And
unless
I would say some sort of NTJ, he'd be pretty poor TI for an NTJ. STJ, he'd be unlikely to continue doing this because it'd be so purposeless for him. I mean, those things aren't definitive, but that's what I've always said is you can't definitively type somebody from text unless they follow that textbook ESFP pattern that all of us set, well, when you see interviews and stuff, what is he always doing? He's always doing FP demonstrative, It's going to be a great, great thing. Everyone's going to love it. It's going to be the best of everything. You're going to be amazed. It's going to blow your mind. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. I'm rich. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. That song was an INFJ whisper shouting, making fun of an ESFP who was saying that shit, right? So like in the room's like, I can't wait till I'm like out of this military thing and I'm gonna be so like rich and powerful. I'm gonna be like my idol NTJ, Elon Musk or whatever, I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be the best. Well, Ken was making fun of him, and he said, I'm rich. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. I got that sample. That was somebody making fun of an ESFP. Well, what is very much Trump done his whole life? He walks around going, I'm rich. I'm the greatest.
I'm the best. He has his name all over the place.
When you're famous, you can do whatever you want to a woman.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he actually said that shit.
He really has said that shit.
Those words came out of his mouth.
Oh my gosh.
Who but an ESFP would say such shit?
Come on, people. ESTPs are not. They have. First of all, their TI is good, and also their FE is also good. They care a lot about what other people think. It's true.
You've heard him key on the specific definition of words he's using and emphasizing? I can't think of any instances of him doing that. I mean, give me a couple instances. You think he's an ESTP? I guess you would. You like him. I think you're mistaking his SE for TI. Too. It's like, no, dude.
I think if you met him in person, you would be like, I think you think differently. I really do.
I'd like to think that ESTPs are a little more honest than him. But whatever.
Yeah, you're definitely more honest than him. He's one of the biggest liars there is.
He doesn't even know he's lying.
I know. It's
that's why he gets away with it. For people who just read his FE, they can tell he believes what he's saying.
Yeah,
and so they just go, well, he's honest.
Yes.
But, no. Yeah. Believing your own bullshit is not honesty.
No.
It's deeply embedded dishonesty.
I mean, he actually said that he wanted to stay as president. He wanted to stay as president because he hasn't filed his taxes in like years, or like there's some like stuff with his taxes. He actually said it, like people wouldn't care. I mean, and I didn't file like my taxes, you know, like I'm not like hating on that. Like I don't hate on people who do that. I'm just saying like he doesn't follow up on the things that he like says.
Stan, are you making some sort of particularist special pleading saying, oh, it's because he was raised and his family disempowered him in some fashion that's why he turned out like an ESFP? Is that what you're saying?
So Legends Fall. Okay, so you're saying that you don't know what type he is.
I don't think that's NPD. I think that's ESFP. It says I don't think Oliva is NPD or whatever. I think she's ESFP.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, they all seem troubled, right? The ESFPs we come into contact with in this community seem very troubled, right? I'm acknowledging. Sure, I acknowledge that it wouldn't be so much confirmation bias as it would be availability heuristic, which is just as bad. Okay, I'm not denying that I'm subject to availability heuristic. I'm saying there is a pattern I've identified here that let's forget the word ESFP and let's just say there's a specific manner of person who engages with a specific style of argumentation that not only disregards TI, but attacks it as worth anything as root, consistently approaching things in the same way, right? When they come around here, forget about Trump for a second, okay? Let's just talk about what actually, you know, it's like, I don't want to get sidetracked into Trump shit. You think he's whatever, I think he's whatever, fucking cares, I don't care. The idea that I would be swept along by popular opinion is insane. Is absolutely insane.
That actually really stuns me.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely insane.
No way.
Do you know anything about me? Do you know anything at all about me? And my positions on things? And you're thinking I'm being influenced by popular opinion. You've got to be fucking crazy if you think that's the case. I'm the person who called out COVID alarmism before anybody in the world did, screaming at the top of my lungs how wrong everybody was. I'm the one who's made multiple videos critiquing every intelligent person for ascribing to evolution because it doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm the one who makes videos about how McDonald's is healthy and people should eat more of it, and that people are idiots for thinking it's unhealthy. Why would I be the person who's so swayed by popular opinion? So availability heuristic, fine. If we're talking about the ESFPs that I have in contact with here, and you're saying my understanding of ESFPs is limited by my availability heuristic. In other words, I'm only dealing with those ESFPs coming in contact with me, and that is a specific pool that may be limited by other factors that I'm not factoring in, so it may not be representative of the population as a whole. Fine, that's a good critique. But that I'm influenced by popular opinion can suck my fucking dick.
Yeah, that's very much true. I can't believe there's even this, like, I mean...
That's just crazy. I live the way of correctness. That matters. I don't use your heuristic that you use as a general rule, right? I'm a deliberator in my tool function. I'm not a heuristic knower. So I'm not limited by heuristic knowing strategies.
He was known for being the person behind his Twitter. I don't think he had anyone writing on his Twitter. I don't know about Reddit or Facebook, but it was all him. Like he literally said he's like, I'm like living in my own reality. This is my reality. I create it.
I mean, the thing is, as somebody who's an objective person who's looking to be the most correct about something, who's not partisan at all, who has no agenda, is not on either side, who's actually being honest and fair in his critiques, I'm telling you the truth about Trump. You don't want to agree with it, fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. But just I don't want to argue about it anymore. Okay? It's a stupid thing to argue about because it's like I've made the challenge multiple times. Give me an example of him using TI. Legends Fault made an attempt at doing so, and he just sort of referenced what he perceived to be a reference to a definition, which is like, are you serious? Preschool TI? That's your example?
Yeah.
Come on now. But whatever. It's like at least it was an attempt at an example. That's the best I've heard from anybody.
I mean,
in support of him having TI.
He really had trouble leaving the White House. Like, it wasn't a joke. He really didn't believe that he lost.
Well, I mean, lots of these people don't either. Which is just, that's just, talk about confirmation bias. If you look at the situation, you replace the names with random people and the circumstances going into the election, you look at the popularity index and things like that, it was obvious Trump was going to lose. It didn't matter who ran against him. So anybody who thinks like, oh, there's something suspicious there is crazy. Now, if in fact, it doesn't mean it's impossible it was stolen. I'm not saying that or whatever, but you should have had a very high standard of proof before accepting any notion that there was anything squirrely about that, given the fact that the most likely outcome was that he was going to lose. By any reasonable measure. By any reasonable polling of the United States populace as a whole, including both coasts and not just in between, the reality was Trump was going to lose.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I don't think he did believe
it.
I don't think he did, Jake. I think he has this incredible ability to deceive themselves.
Yes, they do.
And thereby others, non-intuitives especially, are easily fooled by ESFPs. Why? They're demonstrating all the FE of competence. But if you actually listen to their words and judge it on their words, they're incompetent. But if you're a censor, you're not judging it on their words. You're judging it on something else.
I don't think he actually did believe he lost.
I don't think he did. I think he believes it was stolen by mysterious forces or whatever. It couldn't possibly be he lost. Why? He's using his tool function. He really wanted to win. It's that simple. How come Trump finds it impossible he lost? Because he used his tool function like he always does. And he knows what he wanted. He wanted to win. So he did.
Right. But he went out kicking and screaming. It was all over the news. How can you forget so easily? I'm just surprised. It was all over the news. Like,
well, look, they doubt everything they hear that conflicts with the narrative they want to be true. And this is criticizing somebody who's forsaken their TI in favor of NISE. Like, it's frustrating as hell.
His intellectual, Jacob A. Rouse, he says, his intellectual dishonesty and disregard for factual accuracy is indicative of weak TI for sure. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's indisputable. If you're disputing that, then you're not being honest. It's like it's not because I hate Trump or whatever.
Yeah.
I do feel like he shat all over the office of the presidency, just like Andrew Jackson did. And so I remember reading about Andrew Jackson in history, and I really hated him. It's like I even hate ESFPs when I read about it in history books. So what did Andrew Jackson do? He did shit like this.
Yeah, I want to know.
He ignored the Supreme Court and proceeded ahead with the Trail of Tears because it didn't matter what the division of powers of the government was. It didn't matter what the rights or justice was. It didn't matter what the Supreme Court said about the rights of those Indians. He didn't want them there. So he made them move. This is textbook Trump. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what the division of powers is. It doesn't matter what checks and balances are. Mm-hmm. He wants it like that. So, yeah. It's textbook ESFP bullshit. You know? Like, I didn't even come in here to have this argument. And every fucking time...
I counted it.
Every fucking time. So what? Robert Kennedy wiretapped and shadowed MLK. What does that have to do with fucking anything? I mean, it has absolutely nothing to do with anything. We're not talking about that. If you've seen them make a lot of heavy unsubstantiated claims, then probably they're not ENTPs or INTPs. There aren't very many actual ones.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. Hey, well, politics may be shady, but then that's where you start talking about shit that it's like, you've already given up the goat. Now I need to play you that fucking video, right? Now I need to play you that video. As soon as you start getting off into mysterious warrants and hints at NI shit, it's you're lost. Okay. At that point, you need to watch my message to Reddit and Discord people.
I want to say that I don't hate Trump. I just think that he is a liar and just
yeah. What Jacob says is he's plagiarizing TI. He's not actually understanding it. He's not using it. He's not being consistent across instances at all. Trump is absolutely driven by what he feels is right, which is why, and sometimes FI is reliable. So he was correct about COVID. And what was his justification for COVID? His justification was that he had a hunch. He had a hunch.
Oh my gosh.
Legends fall? Is that what you would have said? Is that what you would have said? Do I think the Russians interfered with the 2016 election? Yeah. Do I think that it determined the outcome? No. I think they.
No, I think that it just like assisted.
Well, I'm sure they did, Scott Steiner. It's called politics. I mean, that's why I'm not concerned so much about the whole Facebook thing. That's politics. You know, is it concerning that a foreign country is making that concerted effort to influence our politics? Sure, but everybody's voice tries to influence politics, you know? And who's to say that nobody can voice their perspective on politics because they live in a foreign country or whatever? It's like that's not a huge big deal to me. Okay, again, Lee Trimmer, we're not playing this game, so stop.
Yeah, I'm like, I really don't want to be talking about this.
Again, though, Lee Trimmer, correct. I think the interference of the Russians in the 2016 election is vastly more credible than claims of interference in the 2020 election.
Agreed.
And that's because I'm objective and I'm judging each case on its merits, not because I side with the wrong team. Okay? I don't give a fuck which team you're on or which side I'm supporting or not. I'm always going to be honest in my analysis. Most people can't, as I've noticed. Yeah, I mean, Winston's mom, I agree. That is a critical point to make, right? That's why I'm not so upset by this Facebook thing. What did they do? They pitched, they pitched political woo at Americans. So, I mean, who doesn't pitch political woo? You know?
No, definitely not TE over SE. He's so SE.
I mean, so SE. If you all you got to do is look at his approach to all of his problems, right? Every time he'd cause an uproar, he'd do something. He'd do the next crazy thing that would cause the organized resistance to the last crazy thing to get all disrupted, and then they'd try to organize to get on the next thing. He'd do something crazy again, kick the anthill again, make the ants scurry. SE, straight up SE as a dominant friend. We know FI is tool. There's no disputing that. So the only other possibility would be NE as a dominant friend. And not NE, obviously. He hates words. He's SEFI. Leaf Drummer, did you hear anything I said? So I gave you the correct answer to it, and you ignored it. You're about to get timed out, buddy. You're having a rough night tonight. You are not to ignore correct things.
Where's FE in the stack for ESTPs?
I mean, absolutely correct, Scott Steiner. Bush versus Gore is not relevant to the current election at all. The fact that you think that's an indication that something was done wrong is proof that you're not using TI. You are absolutely not being correct. You are choosing the way of wrongness. It isn't relevant. That's why they threw it out, obviously. It's obviously not fucking relevant. Why would they include it in consideration of a case in 2020? Something that happened 4 years ago or 8 years ago. Why? Or 12 years ago. Why? It's not relevant. Why would in the fact that somebody would claim that would cause me to get up in arms as well. Like, are you serious, you lying sack of shit? You're trying to claim that's relevant when it's obviously not? Fuck off. You know, I mean, who wouldn't say that? What sane person wouldn't say that? And you object to that? Oh, shame on you.
No way.
Shame the fuck on you.
I only care about like I have only room for like certain amount of stuff. I'm very selfish.
I mean, nobody should be physically assaulting anybody, right? But the previous case isn't relevant, is it?
Third. I don't know why.
Any God-fearing American would be angry by the notion that it was. Any red-blooded God-fearing American would be furious because they'd be preferring. They know that no matter which side they preferred, they should prefer the rule of law and sanity. So I hope you're furious, Scott Steiner, at the notion that that might be relevant. It's not fucking relevant, Scott Steiner. It's not fucking relevant. That it was dismissed as irrelevant is the only appropriate conclusion to draw. You might suggest otherwise. Shame the fuck on you.
So, our anytime.
But 8 people thought it was. 8 fucking retards is not a reason to do something. Being correct is a reason to do something. For fuck's sake. 8 people being catastrophically wrong is not a reason to support something. For fuck's sake. Shame on you. That is what I call sophistry right there. Shifting ground between actual justifications and bullshit justifications without even blinking an eye.
SP shit.
They made the right decision on this. That's unfair, right? No, that's correct. That's not fair or unfair when it's correct versus wrong.
Oh my gosh. You're totally, Scott Steiner, you're totally exemplifying what Eric was talking about with, I mean, he says, Scott Steiner says, no, Eric, you're acting irrational.
Okay, look, Scott Steiner, I'm not acting. Nobody acts rationally or irrationally. They speak rationally or irrationally. I'm speaking rationally. My tone is angry. That does not mean I'm acting irrational, okay? To act irrationally will require me to take some sort of action besides speaking. And if you want to critique the rationality of my words, you will find them impeccably correct. To think that, you brought up a point that's clearly not relevant, and you said they threw it out on this relevance ground. I mean, good, obviously. Why would you ever dream of saying otherwise?
No, I read them.
You're not responding on point, are you? Did you respond on point? Wait. Okay, so but let me get this clear. Did you not just say that they wanted to hear the case on grounds of relevance based on Gore versus Bush, right? Didn't you say that? You did say that, right? Or am I wrong? And you're complaining that they didn't hear the case on the grounds that that wasn't relevant. Is that what you're saying? Did I misread that or what?
It is changing colors, Winston's mom. It's trippy.
Okay, right. Well, so in other words, if the party doesn't have standing, in other words, let's say I'm an individual voter in Monmouth County and I want to claim that, in fact, my vote wasn't counted or something, then I might have standing in theory. However, if it's not going to influence the overall outcome, then I wouldn't have standing. I mean, look, I agree that obviously there are some standing double binds that occur, okay? And that is not necessarily always fair in terms of the capacity for each individual to be heard as much as they want to be heard. Okay, well, if that is the case, that Pennsylvania ignored Alito's justice injunction authority, my question is he unilaterally making an injunction against the will of the Supreme Court as a whole? If in fact the Supreme Court as a whole has rejected to hear the case on the grounds that their holistic evaluation of the evidence is there's not enough grounds to hear the case. I mean, the fact is, every election, somebody could try to win it in a lawsuit, right? But I mean, again, we come back to the actual evidence. There's absolutely no good reason to think this election was stolen. And that's a good reason to not hear the case. Okay. Well, I suppose you may have me on a technicality there, if you're right, Scott Steiner, in the sense that if, in fact, a state ignored his injunction authority and it was legitimate, and there was no countervening authority that contraindicated it, then that would be a failure to uphold rule of law, and that would be bad. However, it sounds like Alito was trying to unilaterally go around the court's decision and hold up the election on his own injunction authority, despite the fact that the court ruled otherwise. That's what it sounds like to me. Did I read it correctly? Okay, well, that's bad. Okay, Scott Steiner, that's a bad thing. Sure, we're on the same page there. If, in fact, there's a violation of the court's rule of law, then that's a bad thing. But you seem to be ignoring all the rulings that went against Trump, right? Why are you only paying attention to the one that went in favor of Trump? No, on the 7th of November ordered to segregate ballots. Okay, but why? But Scott Steiner, do you see what I'm saying? Why are we not talking about all the court cases that ruled against Trump? Okay, so there were 53 cases that tried to establish sufficient cause. Well, I'm getting the information from you. I'm asking you. I'm not making claims about what happened, right? I'm saying, why don't you tell me about the cases he lost? You're saying in one instance, a Supreme Court judge, it sounds like unilaterally. Am I correct or incorrect? If I'm incorrect, that's why I'm asking you, right? I mean, the point is, I'm not going to waste any more time with this. I'm tired of you fucking people. It's like, I'm never going to get through to you. You don't care about, there's no justification for this. You don't have any evidence that he actually would have the election stolen. It's a bunch of bullshit correlative links that people build out of databases that, they seek to find the pattern, they find it. It's like fucking insanely stupid. So think, Good night.